Hello there, A's Day fans, and welcome to the next edition of A's Player Profile and Prediction. Today, we are talking all about shortstop, number 5, and the number 1 prospect in the A's organization, Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson, he was originally selected in the first round of the 2023 MLB draft out of Grand Canyon University, Go Lopes, with the 6th overall pick in the first round and was fortunate to earn a $5.5 million signing bonus. He is the son of former Pittsburgh star shortstop Jack Wilson. So always glad to hear when baseball does run and stay in the family. He did start his professional career with the Lansing Lugnuts, who are in the A's organization. Quickly ascended until he made his MLB debut during this past season, the 2024 season, on July 19th against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, where he did collect his first hit before requiring to exit due to an unfortunate hamstring injury that kept him out for another month before returning to the A starting lineup and being the A shortstop for the remainder of the season. He did appear in 28 games and definitely got a taste of big league action. So it was really cool to see the number 1 overall prospect moving up that quickly in the system, being drafted number 1 pick. I'm sure the A's were very excited for him to ascend so quickly. In 2024, in his limited action, he did hit 250, no homers, 3 RBIs. He collected 23 hits. So certainly showed his defensive prowess and being able to show off his above average arm, his range, being ready to field his position defensively. And I think it was good to get a cup of coffee and a taste of what big league pitching would look like with some tempered expectations of what to expect, but that's no longer the case in 2025, as it does seem as he will be handed the keys to being the shortstop of this organization for this year and hopefully for many years to come. There's a lot of buzz around Jacob Wilson, and want to shout him out real quickly. We had the opportunity to speak and meet with Jacob Wilson during at the conclusion of one of their spring training practice sessions and got to get a little bit of understanding of what it meant for him to be a student at Grand Canyon University, and then a little bit of his pregame routine in terms of dietary meals he likes to have before a game. And he was very open. We got to speak to him for about a minute. I think if there weren't other people waiting to meet him and get items signed, I think we could have asked him some more questions. So Jacob, appreciate your time. And we did post that interaction on our YouTube channel at A's Day Podcast. And I believe the clip is on our Instagram page at A's Day Baseball Podcast. We appreciate everywhere you can find us to like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends. Be sure to subscribe to our Patreon site, patreon.com/A's Day. Just wanted to be able to shout that out when the opportunity presented itself. But now, talking about Jacob Wilson, he was very friendly and could have had a nice conversation that could have kept going on and on. So, Jacob, if you're listening to this, if someone relays this to you, if you hear this, we would love to have you on the show. We haven't had any A's or any guests yet. It's really just been yours truly guiding us through everything athletics baseball as we ramp up for the season. Would love to sit down and have a virtual or in-person conversation. With us being based in California, you can come up to Sacramento anytime or get set up a Zoom interview. So yeah, just wanted to shout him out. Jacob Wilson seemed a really nice guy, hoping for a big 2025 season for him to really get things going in his young professional career. So let's give a little bit of a scouting report on what we kind of hinted at a couple of his traits. But for those that may be not familiar with his game, kind of what to expect heading into the 2025 year, and just to see aspects of his game that will continue to grow and develop. So offensively, he's known for a high contact rate guy, elite bat to ball skills, doesn't strike out a lot. In his last, I think I saw something, it was like 497 professional plate appearances. So between his time with the Athletics and in Las Vegas, he's only struck out 12 times. So he's going to put the ball in play. He's going to make some action happen. He's going to give the team an opportunity to get on base, drive someone over, drive someone in. He just really has a pretty good feel of just shortening up and putting it in play, not giving away a free out via the strikeout. He is someone that's not regarded as someone with high power potential. No harm and no foul there. He is a middle infielder, so typically those guys are going to have more reliance on their contact rates compared to power rate. Although he did blast a home run the other day in spring training that I think it's still going. So I think there's some power in there. And you do see that in his continued development that during his minor league career, the A's have tracked that he has squared up plenty of baseballs at 100 miles per hour or more in terms of exit velocity. So they're certainly looking for him to continue, even if it's hard hit ground balls, line drives all over the field. When you're sitting at that 100 miles per hour or more exit velocity, you know you're squaring it up and hit the ball hard. So they just want to see him just continue to do that more consistent rate and to all areas of the field. And as someone that is young in their career, especially facing a higher level of pitching, it's natural. You'll see this on a lot of young guys' scouting report that he is known for having a higher chase rate. So as much as he does put the ball in play, he may go out of the zone that may put him in more unfortunate situations where he does have to shorten up and just put it in play, where if he's laying off certain pitches, he can put himself in more hitter-friendly counts. So look for that in his continued development. Again, so very young. That's something that's going to continue getting better and better the more professional at-bats he gets. And I think that's going to be the overall team theme, not jumping ahead to the last episode of these A's player profile and prediction episodes, but just something to keep a note of with this team in 2025. Defensively, it's glowing reports. He has sound hands, an above-average arm, strong instincts, and really elite defensive chops. So he's ready to be the everyday shortstop. It's just a matter if his body can hold up. So that's the main two areas that they're looking for him to improve besides on-field tangibles is adding strength, because he is someone that is coming into the smaller frame. So they just want him to put on some muscle, and I think he did that in the offseason and had more of a strict or more adherence to adding more protein to his diet, like some chicken and steak. I think it's going to translate to more extra base hits where, you know, even if they're not home runs, but more doubles, just because he does have pretty good wheels too as well. So hitting him more gap to gap line drives can really pay off and benefit. But besides for that on-field output, they want him to stay available and more dedication into the weight room, more flexibility. I don't know exactly what area that he needed to improve on, but it did seem like they wanted him to become a little bit more pliable and add a little bit more in the weight room so he can stay healthy over the course of a full 162 that he is going to get the opportunity to do for the first time at the big league level as the A's everyday shortstop. They know the sky's the limit for him. They know all the talent's there. Just want to make sure he's available. I think he will be. So very excited to see the A's number one prospect getting his first full run, his rookie season. I feel like there's going to be a lot of good highlights, especially with the glove. I do think he does have that clutch factor. He's going to come through this team and be that X factor, most likely towards the bottom of the order. But, you know, we'll see what it looks like heading into 2025. So, according to Fangraphs, they had him projected for a 287 batting average, 9 home runs, 59 runs batted in, 6 stolen bases, a 336 on base percentage, and a 420 slug. So that comes out to about a 726 OPS. So we set the over-under for 726, that number. I think that was a good projection in terms of OPS. I think they're seeing the OBP be a little bit higher than I think it might be. But the slugging, I think, could be a tick higher. So I think that's a good OPS right there, 726. And we're going to take the slightest of unders. And I'll tell you why. I think 336, if Wilson could have that OPB in his rookie year or above, I think that means he's really cutting down on his chase rate. He's really being more disciplined at the plate. The potential's there. I just don't know if it's going to be that apparent year one. Just the track record of your typical young player. Typically, the chase rate's going to be a little bit higher, especially across a bigger sample size. So just curious to see how he makes those adjustments on how pitchers are trying to figure out how to get him out at the beginning of the season. But then as pitchers makes their adjustments when there's more film on him, more numbers, things like that. So just because of that, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we're wrong here. This is the one I don't feel the most confident about. But I'm going to put his OPS, I think we'll call it 718. So I think he'll be just about 8 to 10 points lower than this projection, just because I think that OBP might be a little bit lower. Not that he'll never reach that number or exceed it. Just you never know what you can get with a younger guy. If the A's can get a 700 plus OPS from a full rookie season of Jacob Wilson, I think they'll be pretty happy about that, especially with all the other positive components in this Athletics lineup. So very excited. Best of luck, Jacob Wilson. He's going to get the opportunity to be the everyday shortstop. Number 5, very cool to see baseball continue on in the Wilson family. Best of luck in 2025. Go Lopes, and I hope to be wrong here with that over-under. I really want to change it, but I'm going to stick with my guns. I think just under, but I'll be very happy here if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to, tell like it is based on beliefs, but I think he'll be right around that. I think he's going to have a very nice rookie season. I think he's going to be turning some heads again, especially with that glove and strong arm. I think he's going to be a real anchor in the middle of that A's infield defense. So before we get out of here, just want to give a quick shout out, and we're going to start doing this on these A's player profile and predictions, as well as future episodes, just shouting out some of the Mesa local hotspots, restaurants, breweries, things like that we were able to experience during our time covering the A's in spring training, as well as the wonders of Mesa City Limitless during earlier in February. So we appreciate Visit Mesa for making that possible. So we are going to quickly shout out one of the restaurants that we were fortunate to grab lunch at in downtown Mesa, and then we'll get on out of here before we get back to Creighton for the next profile prediction, as well as other A's content as the season gets closer and closer to starting. So today we want to shout out Gus's world famous fried chicken. They're located at 212 West Main Street in downtown Mesa. Gus's world famous fried chicken is a full service restaurant serving made to order hand battered fried chicken, not to be confused with Nashville hot chicken. We serve Southern spicy fried chicken. We make all our Southern sides in-house daily, from shredding fresh cabbage for our coleslaw to cutting potatoes for our potato salad. Most of our sides tend to be on the sweeter side to pair perfectly with our chicken. Enjoy a sweet tea, a really big beer, or a bottle of DOM with your meal. Finish up with one of our simple Southern pecan, chess, sweet potato, or chocolate chess pies baked daily. Gus's is the current reigning champion of the National Fried Chicken Festival. Travel Channel ranked Gus's as the 12th tastiest restaurant in America to chow down, and GQ magazine believes Gus is one of the top 10 restaurants in the world worth flying to for a meal, and they are also on the top 100 list of restaurants to visit according to Yelp. So if you're in Mesa, you won't be disappointed. Check out Gus's world famous fried chicken. Grab yourself a tender, juicy, crunchy chicken breast, chicken tenders, wings, legs, some delicious Southern sides, and so much more. I'm just hungry thinking about it. All right. And that is another edition of A's Player Profile and Prediction. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We talked all about shortstop Jacob Wilson, what to expect for him for his 2025 season. So again, for all of our episodes for these profile predictions, you can expect one episode a day per day, all the way up until opening day, where we conclude with an athletics team profile and prediction prior to first pitch up in Seattle against the Mariners to kick off a 4-game series to kick off the 2025 MLB regular season. Again, you can check us out on our socials, on Instagram at A's Day Baseball Podcast, on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's at A's Day Baseball. Check out our video content of episodes like this, as well as our visit to Mesa and other future content trips that we do take, and whatever content we were able to capture covering the A's. Our YouTube channel at A's Day Baseball Podcast, or at A's Day Podcast, excuse me. And then finally, we would love for each and every one of you to be an official subscriber so we can grow this A's Day family together. A'sday.com, or excuse me, patreon.com/A's Day. You'll be entered to win exclusive t-shirt giveaways, monthly drawings, which we are going to start at the end of this month, exclusive A's autograph memorabilia, future A's tickets, spring training game tickets, and so much more as we continue to grow this platform. So patreon.com/A's Day. You'll be glad you subscribed. And that's all for today. Appreciate your time, and we look forward to entertaining you and getting you ready another day closer to athletics baseball returning. Holy Toledo, baseball's almost back. Have a good rest of your day, everyone.